Unmute.
No, mute yourself. You should be able to. I don't know what it's doing this morning. I can mute everyone, but it'd be better if you mute yourself, and then you can unmute if you need to. I see everybody's muted, so that we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to light the cross candle. And we light this candle, the cross candle, at the beginning of our Sunday service to represent the Christ light that is within each one of us. So I'll set this aside, and it'll be burning throughout our time together, just as a representation, as a symbol of the Christ light that we know is in each one of us. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Panama City. I'm Ron Holdaway, LUT and spiritual leader here at our center, and we welcome you. It's good to see all your faces on YouTube here, and for those of you who will watch us on Zoom, and those who will watch on YouTube a little later, we welcome you. We're honored with your presence, and so it's great to be together in this virtual world. We seem like we're doing a lot of that these days, right? So welcome. Where are you today? We know the events of our lives and world continue to challenge our peace. Where are you? Know this: we are here to support you, to love you, to virtually wrap our arms around you this morning, and to be with you. So regardless of the concerns over the fires, the storms in the Gulf, the injustice social injustice that's ongoing, the COVID-19, wherever you are in this time, in this period, we're here to support you, and most definitely to love you, and to receive the love from each other. So we welcome all of you. I'm going to start the service today with a song by Faith Rivera. So hold on just a minute and I'll get that called up. Nothing's cooperating this morning. Let's see here. There we go. Here we go.
Are the ones we've been
highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word, one dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Stand together. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Yeah, yeah. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together. Live the dream of a new day dawning. Be the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together now. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together. Live the dream of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together now.
Thank you, Faith Rivera and Harold Payne. I didn't quite introduce him, so as they were singing that song together. So, good way to get started this Sunday morning, to stand together, and we know how important that is. So I invite you now. Let's open with prayer, and so I invite you just to center yourself and still yourself for a moment as we join together in this moment as we claim the truth of who and what we are. May peace prevail in the hearts and minds of all beings. You know, in unity, affirmative prayer is our foundation, claiming the good that is ours. Even in the face of appearances to the contrary, we take action guided by Spirit. There is no lack of limitation in the mind of God, and we affirm this to be the truth. So this week we're praying for each other and all around the country and the world, and for each other in our spiritual community, whatever the needs are. We pray for the worldwide community, and we uphold the experience of those experiencing pain as a result of the violence, injustice, fires in California and Oregon or other places. And whatever the natural disaster may be, there seems like it's a critical moment in the time of our climate, and these natural disasters are proving that. We just hold these people to be protected and safe, and we hold these thoughts. Those around the world with a feeling of sense of loss and love and peace. Right now, there's a lot of mental issues with this separation, and we just lift them up to shine light. We pour light from our thoughts into the piercing darkness that can sometimes occur, and we just pray for this in this moment. So, because even in our struggles and our suffering, we raise our conscious awareness to find peace in our hearts and minds, and to give thanks for the realization of oneness in the presence of the one power, God the Good, in our lives. We celebrate the wonder and awe of life by celebrating and giving thanks for this loving presence. So we say, thank you, God, and we affirm this to be the truth. And so it is. Amen. So again, welcome to everyone. It's so good to see you. And, we know that Unity welcomes everyone here. We know that and affirm that all have sacred worth. Nothing exists outside the heart of God. We recognize and honor the divinity within each one of us as the one common denominator that we share on this human journey. We are all one. We truly are one. Unity stands for the presence, for peace in the presence of conflict, and for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury, So may every Unity honors all the many names for God, and we welcome everyone to this place, to this service. If you want to find out more about us, about Unity, you can go to the website, find out about our 5 principles, and you may also join unity.org and find out more about the Unity movement in general. And may we always remain resolute in walking the course of human rights and justice for all. So we just completed a very full week, as I would call it, with celebration and special prayers. We had World Day of Prayer on Thursday, and I had invited you to, in our community, to hold 1 minute each hour in mindfulness, and I hope you did that. And we'll talk some more about that maybe during our social hour, just to see how you did this week with being mindful and just practicing being mindful. We also honored the 19th anniversary of 9/11, celebrating the people that died on that day, and then they also have been several first responders that have died since. So I was thinking about that. That's a generation. The people born on 9/11, are 19 years old today. So, or whenever it was Friday. And that's amazing to me, to think that they weren't here when it happened, but now they're 19 years old, and I'm sure they've heard about it. It's part of their history if they were born since then. So we all go on celebrating life. And I had celebrations in my life this week, and I'm sure you did too. My mom celebrated her 89th birthday on Friday. So on Thursday, yesterday, sorry, that was yesterday. And so she was 89, and she had a birthday celebration at her assisted living, and I saw some pictures of her, and she was so happy. And so that was great. And then I shared with many of you my great-granddaughter, my 3rd great-grandchild, was born on Thursday, September the 10th, and World Day of Prayer Day. And she just came home last night, and so as soon as the service is over today, I'm on the way to her house to visit with her for the first time. Part of this COVID separation means that we can't be in the hospital and see her right when we saw pictures, all kinds of pictures. So I'm sure you're celebrating and honoring and praying for all the events in your life. And we continue to pray with you and for you, and together to celebrate that. So if you have any prayer needs, please do not hesitate to send them to me. Email, or you can go directly online at unity.org and go to or silentunity.org, and you can find a form to submit your prayers. So I invite you to do that and keep us involved. Many of you are doing that, and I invite you to continue doing that, and so we can pray together and hold everyone up in our consciousness. And most of you know we have a few Zoom activities during the week. Flora celebrates and facilitates A Course of Miracles on Tuesday at 6 p.m. We have coffee and chat with me and the others in our community, which is really a good thing, a midweek break, if you will. That's Wednesday morning. It's now at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. So let me know if that works for you any better. So, and then Thursday at 11, we have a guided meditation. I will lead us in a guided meditation. And it's just a good time, good way to be together and to celebrate with each other. And if you continue to give to this spiritual community, your spiritual family, we were ever so grateful. I'm humbled every week by that activity of what you're doing and giving. As we give, we receive. And I was reading some about this week, and there's you can even Google this. It says 5 reasons why it's harder to receive than it is to give. So you might put that in your consciousness this week and get into that a little bit, the giving and receiving. As we give, we receive. So I invite you to go onto our website and click the donate button. Go to unityofpanamacity.org, click the donate button. You can pay through PayPal, or you can get the address off of the website and mail your check in. And so we're so grateful for your donations and to continue to support this community. So invite you to hold your hands together, and we'll do a virtual blessing of our offerings, all the offerings that come in throughout the week and the days. And we begin by saying, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Okay. Okay, let's pause and listen to these words from the daily word, the reading for the daily word, as we tend to get a little contemplative and meditative and begin our meditation time together. So the daily word today is surrounded about love. And the affirmation is, I lovingly open my heart to others. I lovingly open my heart to others. And I've received some instructions recently to say these kinds of affirmations, and Rose will talk about that later, but we can work with these all week and just work with them and see what comes up. And this one, when you hear this, when I finish reading it, you can work with this all week, work with the thoughts in this. I lovingly open my heart to others. Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore, said, God is love. Man is loving. God is love. Man is loving. Unity's co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, said, God is love. We make divine love into loving. Let me read that again. God is love. We make divine love into loving. God is the principle of love I use to be loving. I am loving when I show my affection and give nurturing attention. I speak lovingly positive words showing much that they, let me try that again. I speak loving, positive words showing how much they mean to me. As my words affirm their goodness, beauty, and intelligence, I watch those qualities bloom like flowers blessed by sunshine. I extend my arms and embrace my family and friends and all with the warmth and comfort of unconditional love. I support them with compassion and care on their life's journey. I pray with those I love, knowing their innate divinity is love. I lovingly open my heart to others. I lovingly open my heart to others. Can you affirm that with me? I lovingly open my heart to others. And so it is.
I'm driving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm driving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm driving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, Everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
What?
So let's talk about the old versus new way to launch your online course. So the first thing I want you to know is that your launch is not personal, it's math. Okay, let me say that again. Your launch is
Nothing
not
is
personal,
cooperating with
it's
me this
math.
morning, so hold on
either
just a
you
second.
have the numbers or you need to get the numbers, and that's it. All right, so let me show you what I mean by getting the numbers, because I'm here to help you.
Here we go. I am so sorry about that. That's the test for see how we can get into meditation. When we have external challenges, we can still go into meditation and find our peace. So I invite you to begin doing that now in this moment, to just rest, to just fully rest in this now moment, and begin by taking a deep breath in. Take a deep breath. And as you do, feel your body rise up. Just rise up and then fully release down into the essence of who and what you truly are. Again, breathe in deeply, rise up, and then release. And give yourself the luxury of this moment of believing in the divinity of your own soul as we rest into this place where we know that God lives and moves and has being in us. Continue breathing. And if the thoughts come and go, just let them go. No resistance, nothing to do except just be here right now. For it's only in this time of silence and contemplative meditation that we can really realize and hold the reality of what is and the possibility of what can be. Breathe that truth into your being and then release it. Breathe in and just release. And as the daily word said today, we lovingly open our hearts to ourselves, to our family, to our friends, and to the world. Breathe that truth into your being as we enter the silence in just a moment, and just feel that. Breathe that deeply down into your heart space where love, the love presence that you are, exists right now. And be peace. Again, allow yourself the luxury of believing in the divinity of your own soul in this moment. As you continue to breathe and let the thoughts just float on by like balloons floating by. If there's any thoughts, just let them float. If there's any tension in your body, just focus on it for a minute and then release it so that you can truly be in this present moment. Breathe deeply one more time before we go into the silence, and then just breathe naturally. And affirm, I lovingly open my heart to others. I lovingly open my heart to myself and others in the silence. In the silence. As you continue to breathe normally, let that breath flow down into your heart space, followed by just the radiant beam of light to just illuminate that love center that lives and moves and has being in you. God is love. You are loving. So from this principle of God love, we use this principle to be loving. Breathe that deeply into your being where you intuitively know that this is the truth. Take another deep breath in and exhale. And as you do, begin to return your attention to this time and place. You can do so by wiggling your fingers and toes. You can stretch. Give yourself a hug to return your attention to this time and place. And when you're ready to do so, you can open your eyes and be fully present in this now moment. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet spirit, for this moment together in the silence. So we're in for a treat today because Rose is going to speak to us on continuing our topics from Nurture Your Divine Spirit, the booklet that we're using. So without further ado, I'm just going to let Rose start. And I know this is going to be a great talk and a great help to all of us about how we can use affirmations in our spiritual practices. So here's Rose.
Hi, everybody. I hope I can live up to that intro. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. And as Ron said, I'm going to talk to you about affirmations. I'm going to be taking it from this book, Nurture Your Divine Spirit. Okay. So this morning, I'm going to talk to you about the definitions of affirmations, differentiating between positive thinking and affirmations, what the booklet says about affirmations, give some examples, talk about some benefits of affirmations and some guidelines, including using negatives in affirmations. And then we'll conclude with our very short little video, okay? So the dictionary says positive thinking is an optimistic attitude, a practice of focusing on the good in any given situation. For instance, when you're in a traffic jam, which can be stressful, okay? So instead of thinking about the stress in that traffic jam, the positive thinking would be, oh, this is a great time for me to listen to NPR. I've been wanting to listen to this music. That would be positive thinking, okay? Now, as far as an affirmation, the dictionary defines that as the assertion that something exists or is true. The assertion that something exists or is true. Now, in our booklet, Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett, who is the Vice President of Prayer and Practice at Unity Worldwide Ministries, says an affirmation is a declaration of spiritual truth. It's not wishful or magical thinking. It's not a prediction of how things will turn out. Rather, it is a statement of what is true here and now. For example, we don't affirm we're going to be rich someday. Instead, what we do is to affirm what is true now and always, like the key to prosperity lies within me. I claim and affirm there is plenty of time and money, plenty of possibilities for me to thrive, or I cultivate a plenty consciousness. Now, Reverend Karen Shepherd says, this is not simply positive thinking. Our ability to vocalize is vital to our use of affirmations. We must speak them as often as we can because our words bring thoughts into existence. And through repetition and aloud, whenever possible, we internalize our affirmations and we make them our own. Now, they also bring up Emily Cady in her book, Lessons in Truth, which many are very familiar with. And in that book, Miss Katie says that affirmative statements replace negative thoughts with beliefs, with truth. Now, last week, Ron spoke about denial. So once we've denied, have we created a void or a vacuum? Now in Unity, we have heard that phrase, nature abhors a vacuum, which means nature hates a vacuum, can't stand a vacuum, okay? Now, that phrase is contributed to Aristotle. So whenever you're playing, Trivial Pursuit on Zoom, you'll know that now, right? Okay, so in the book, The Quest, this is the book, The Quest, which is very familiar in Unity, and that was written by Richard and Mary Alice Jafala. The Jafalas tell about a city council that demolished an area that was ugly and dangerous slums that had burned out homes and tenements. Some of us can relate to that kind of scene with Hurricane Michael and its aftermath. So what they did was they cleared all that out after years of it looking like a war zone. But then something very unexpected happened. The trash and the little shacks started to slowly creep back in. And it was becoming just as bad as what it was before they had cleared it. So it's not enough to remove the offensive structures, okay? We have to replace that with something better. So once we clear our minds of our old, ugly, and dangerous beliefs, we have to quickly follow up by building a God consciousness, or else the old thinking will creep back in. And we'll have to route it out again, and route it out again, and route it out again. So now, affirmations have to be rooted in truth. You can't jump off a building and deny that gravity exists and all will be well. Or if you have an x-ray showing a medical problem, don't deny its existence. Yet you can say and believe affirmations such as, this has no power over who and what I truly am. Now, if you have only $10 in your bank account, saying I have thousands of dollars isn't a true affirmation, is it? However, you can use an affirmation such as, my source is unlimited, or in the book, My Prayer for Unexpected Prosperity, you can say things such as, I dwell in the midst of infinite abundance, or my mind is open to receive my good, or blessings come in expected and unexpected ways. Now, there are many doctors and psychologists that have studied and firmly believe in the use of affirmations. Doctors and psychologists such as Ronald Alexander, PhD, Lena Gupta, she's a DO, or David Schechter, he's a medical doctor, and he's had over 30 years experience in the field of mind-body medicine, and he often works with chronic pain. And they all agree on the basic aspects of an affirmation. Dr. Gupta said to imagine that your subconscious mind is like a giant filing cabinet, and it sorts every thought, every action, and memory. And over time, the cabinet gets a little cluttered, a little stuffed, and the files become corrupted. And some of the files appear more dominant than others. Now, the science of using affirmations is based on clinical experience and psychological theories, okay? And these affirmations have been shown to decrease stress. They've been used effectively, to help people increase their physical activity. And they've even helped people to eat more fruits and vegetables. Maybe you ought to use that on your kids a little bit, huh? Now, an affirmation can work because it has the ability to program your mind into believing the stated concept. But they don't always seem to work for everybody, do they? So how can one person have great success using this tool while another sees no results whatsoever? Well, first of all, you have to be aware that positive affirmations don't magically manifest results. What they do instead is open your subconscious to new channels of information and opportunity. So you must take action on these in order for any major changes to happen in your life. For example, and I took this from the Daily Word in a meditation that said, from Daily Meditations, okay, for practicing the course by Karen Casey. And one of those affirmations is, I will consult the holy voice within before I act. I will consult the holy voice within before I act. You can say that as often as you'd like, and preferably out loud. But are you actually practicing that? Are you taking the action? So another thing you have to know is that the subconscious mind often cannot differentiate between negative and positive, what is real or imagined. For example, if we want to be successful, you cannot say things like, I don't want to be a failure. The subconscious mind will act upon the word failure and ignore the word don't. And you actually get the result you didn't want to have in the first place. So you have to choose what you share with your subconscious mind carefully. And that's why positive affirmations are so critical. Now, when I was reading and studying this made me think of a quote that I've remembered always from many years ago from Mother Teresa. And I quote, I was once asked why I don't participate in anti-war demonstrations. I was once asked why I don't participate in anti-war demonstrations. I said, I will never do that. But as soon as you have a pro-peace rally, I'll be there, unquote. Now, our psychologists, all our experts say that the positive affirmations help to counteract and eventually quiet the negative thoughts that can permeate their thinking. And they need to be short and sweet, okay? So some tips on creating your powerful affirmation is to place your name or I in the affirmation, okay? I am, okay? Rose is. And to phrase the goal in the present tense to bring it to reality. And thirdly, add a feeling to strengthen the affirmation. I feel, I enjoy, and to say it with confidence, even if you have to fake that confidence for a little while. Fake it until you make it, okay? Now, Dr. Schechter is one that I had mentioned before, who works in the mind-body area, discovered an app, and it's called Think Up, one word, okay? And this is a free download, and it has some premium features on it, and it's built for iPhone and Android. Now, some of the features of this app that helped his patients are that you record your own voice reading the affirmation. And there's a list of affirmations from experts and authors that you can look at. And the affirmations are also broken down by topic. And they have the ability to record the affirmation with some music in the background. And they're very easy to play back. Now, there's some empirical yet unpublished evidence that suggests that recording the affirmation and hearing it aloud in your own voice may be more powerful than your internal dialogue or hearing another person's voice reading the affirmation. Now, when I looked this up, I discovered there are now many apps that you can download that are free. Now, of course, if you want some super deluxe items, you know, on that app, you may have to pay for that. So with your affirmation, another key is practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, in our lifetimes, over and over again, we've heard affirmations in marketing, okay? We've been repeatedly exposed to radio advertisements, TV, billboards with key messages that could be considered as an unconscious imbibing of affirmations. And if your subconscious, you know, accepts that, that could influence your decisions, you know, about the product or the service that's being advertised. You know, it could be a positive or a negative thing. For example, how many of us have sung or stated a phrase or affirmation from television and radio? Some of the really memorable ones that I could think of were from the 60s and 70s. For instance, Coke's, "I'd like to teach the world to sing." How many of you can finish that? Huh? So that was in 1971, and the idea was of happiness and universal love. Perfect timing for that, right? Here's another one. "You've come a long way, baby." Okay, that was Virginia Slim's in 1968, and that was during a time of women's liberation movement. Or "Because you're worth it." That was L'Oreal, 1973, the feminist movement and the time of the Equal Rights Amendment. So let's just face it, we've had a lot of challenges in the last few years around here, haven't we? And we're hearing from so many different sources over and over again. So affirmations can help us to stay on our spiritual track, to keep our belief system solid. Unity, and of course, my Course in Miracles, you know, teach us that God is everywhere present, and the Holy Spirit is always and patiently waiting for us. And all we have to do is give the signal to give the okay. So let's use our connection with our ultimate source and give that signal. And we can do that with affirmations. We have so many tools for affirmations. You know, I mean, let's face it, we have the daily word, we have Science of Mind, we've got meditation affirmation booklets, we got the Course in Miracles, we have Nurture Your Spirit. We have so many different accesses to help with affirmations. Now, and there are other ways to do it. Perhaps you'd like to incorporate one of the 5 principles. One of those principles is God is all there is and present everywhere. So you insert your I statement, okay? I know God is all there is and everywhere present. Or the Course in Miracles says, I am as God created me. I am as God created me. Or perhaps you'd like to use the 12 powers into an affirmation by inserting the I in there. For instance, strength is the ability to endure, stay the course, and persevere. So you could say, I have the ability to endure, stay the course, and persevere. Or perhaps you've had a little of the difficulty that I've had recently. My initiative seems to have waned just a little bit over the last few months, okay? So I need a little help with that. Started off with a bang, waning a little bit now. So I could say, I, Rose, manage my time well, and I am in control of my life. Or, I, Rose, set daily goals, and I am empowered to achieve them. So I would encourage you to think about using affirmations if you don't, okay? And if you already use affirmations, perhaps now would be a good time for you to kind of get that affirmation or affirmations out, maybe look at them a little closer, dust them off a little bit, update them. Okay, so that's my challenge for you for this next week. Now, next, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to show you a very short video. I'd like you to listen to it. Notice the I statement that's being used. They're using an I statement in there. And especially note how it's said with such enthusiasm. Okay? So bear with me as I pull this up, and we're going to know that everything is going to work well here.
Finally, the 3-year-old who is definitely America Strong. It's the moment moving so many. The simple walk to school, the 3-year-old named Aeon wearing his backpack and remembering the words his mother taught him at just 2. What he says to himself over and over again.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
That's his mother, Alyssa, and she and his father, Alpha, have been telling their little boy for some time that he will grow up to be anything he wants to be. This was one of their first lessons more than a year ago.
You say, I am smart.
I'm smart.
I am blessed.
A bus.
I can do anything.
I can.
He'll get there. 1 year later, now 3 years old, declaring this.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
Great parents. Great.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you again for being with us. Namaste.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was, you can't help but smile when you see that little boy affirming the truth. So, yeah, what I gathered out of what you said there is that affirmations, we always tell the truth. We make truth statements, and that little boy was doing exactly that. So, lots of kudos to him and to you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. I was beaming ear to ear, still am. So thank you. So we'll conclude our service the way we usually do with a prayer for protection. So we can all unmute ourselves if you wish, and we can. I'll say the each line of the prayer for protection, and then I'll say each line, and then you can repeat it. And we'll see how the power of that fills us up. So here we go. The light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us. Wherever I am, wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Great.
Great, thank you. Blessings.
Bob's here. She doesn't look. She was cutting Bob's here, but looks like
Thank
she
you,
has.
Rose. Thank you. We'll end the service now and have some time for